In this podcast, we're going to look at how to compress a folder and to compress a series of files together into a compressed file, or what's also called a zip file. There's a couple ways you can do that. I have a folder here, and inside that folder are 3 documents. When you compress the files, if you want them to be opened up and self-contained in their own folder, then you would compress the folder itself. If you want the files to open up inside of another existing folder, then you would just compress the files themselves. And we're going to look at both ways of doing this. First, we're going to zip the folder itself. And if I right-click on that folder and go down to Send To, I have an option that shows up. It could be different in your computer where it appears on the list. Here it's the number 1 item on the list. It says Compressed Zipped Folder. If you have another option on here that says something like WinZip or Zip Central or another version of Zip, do not use that. You want to use the Compressed Zipped Folder. And the reason is that when these things are uploaded to, say, Desire to Learn or Blackboard or some other online platform, when you unzip them within the system there, sometimes these other programs use special algorithms that those systems cannot read. But the Windows standard compression will open up on those systems without any problems. So basically all I need to do is click on that, and it's going to, you notice here it's compressing, and it's now created another document on my desktop, and it looks similar to the other one. It's a folder, but it has a zipper on it, and the file name may or may not contain zip. If you mouse over it, it says it's a compressed zip folder. Depending on the settings on your computer, this could say PowerPoints, which was my original folder name, or it could say PowerPoints.zip. It depends on whether or not your system is set up to show file extensions. Okay, now the other way we can do this is to open up the folder, and I can select the first item and the last one by holding down Shift. I'll get all of them. If you had 3 or 4 items in here and you didn't want to do all of them, you could click on the first one, hold down the Control key, and click on an additional item or multiple items to select them. They do not have to be in order. It will just do the items that you click on while holding down the Control key. When you're done, you'd release the Control key, and then basically it's the same process. We right-click, and we go down to Send To, Compressed Zipped Folder, and it's going to create the file. Now this one, it's going to name it after one of these documents. You don't really have control over which document name it's going to use for the zip file. But once again, it indicates over here under Type that it is a zipped compressed folder, and we have an icon here showing that it's a zipped folder. Now the difference between this one and this one is, when this one is unzipped, it's just going to take these 3 documents and open them inside of the folder where the file is unzipped. This one is going to unzip a folder inside of the folder that it contains it. So if you upload these to Desire to Learn and you unzip this one within the root directory of the Manage Files area, it's going to create a folder that says PowerPoints, because that's what this was called, and it's going to put 3 files inside of it. If I upload this one to Desire to Learn and unzip it into the root directory of the Manage Files area, it's just going to put 3 files in the root directory that are not in a folder. So that's the difference. If you want to put some files in an existing directory, you would want to zip the files individually here, and then upload them and unzip them. If you want to create a folder for them on the system where you're uploading them, you would take this folder and zip it, and then when you unzipped it, it would create a folder, and it would contain the files that are inside of the compressed folder.